Who do you think get benefits from Russia's invasion to Ukraine?
So now look, who is after the big aggression started, and even before that, Russia started dumping in price for its oil and gas. Now, who is buying the cheap oil from Russia now? Many Western companies left Russia. Look at the Russian market. Who replaced them? See who is the beneficiary on that. I will not know names, yeah. So just guess.
Yeah.
Trump was the president of the United States once, and now he's going to become the number 47, 45, and 47.
Yeah.
And you know what? He is the leader of the democratic country, the biggest democracy in the world, maybe the strongest democracy in the world. Put it this way. And and Putin is the dictator, and he is a leader of very influential dictators regimes. He's like it's the opposite sides of the globe, and opposite sides of the ideology, or opposite of everything, right? So it's incompatible.
Halo Tribuners, jumpa bersama saya Geok Mengwan. Tribuners, 1000 hari sudah perang antara Rusia dan Ukraina terhitung sejak 20 Februari 2022 hingga 19 November 2024. Meski begitu, perang juga belum mereda, justru tensinya semakin meningkat. Hal ini menarik untuk dibahas. Untuk itu kita sudah kedatangan Duta Besar Ukraina untuk Indonesia, Mr. Vasyl Hamianin. Halo, apa kabar,
Selamat
Pak?
siang, kabar baik.
Okay. It's an honor for me to talk with you in this interview. But first, I feel sad to what happened in Ukraine because of Russia's invasion. But here, people need to know about how's the situation right now, because there is a rumor out there that Ukraine is so desperate then needs NATO's help. Is it the rumors true or not?
Well, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Great to be here. Tribune is always gives a very inspiring questions and always a very good audience. So I love to communicate with Tribuners. Hello, Tribuners. Wish you everything just the best. Wish you peace and prosperity and development of a beautiful country. The question is a good question. I mean, like, what is this? We talk about 1000 hari, of invasi Rusia di Ukraina, right? In fact, we are to be precise. It's 10 years of Russian aggression against Ukraine already, since 2014. So we have been fighting for last 10 years already. Since 10 years ago, the part of Ukraine was occupied, and the part of Ukraine was like also occupied by also the war was started by Russian occupants in Donbass, in the eastern part of Ukraine. And it's just 1,000 days of a full-scale aggression of Russia in Ukraine. So we're talking, but actually, to go back to the history, we're talking about 350 years of resistance of Ukrainian people, trying to get rid of the empire that was dominating on this region. So we've been fighting for 300 plus years. It's a long way, it's a long fight, it's a long resistance. So, well, I would not even imagine how Ukrainian would become desperate. Desperation means what? We are going to surrender, but the true thing here is that if Ukraine stops to resist, Ukraine will disappear from the map of the world. And none of the Ukrainians would love to be erased from the history, erased from the reality. That's why we, despite the feelings that some people might have, like of desperation, of being tired, of being exhausted, of being everything, but we still fight. We stand up and fight. And I know, well, every family in Ukraine has very direct relation to the war, to this aggression, to this resilience of Ukrainian people. Some families have the loved ones killed or injured or wounded. Some families still have the members like fathers, sisters, mothers, or kids fighting in the front line. Like in my team, there's everybody has someone, or the people who experienced the occupation, experienced the like being under Russian tanks and under the barrels of Russian machine guns, and then we stay, and then we still resist, and then we fight, and then we are winning, if I may say so. So we are getting strong. We're not getting any weaker, despite we're tired. That's true, but no desperation in that. No desperation. We want to give chance to our children, to our grandchildren, to exist, to live in a peaceful country, to live in a country that develops, that grows, that grows flowers and grows grains, gandum and things, and being friends with other friendly nations, right? So no desperation. I repeat, if we stop fighting, there will be no Ukraine. So it's not about appeasement, it's not about the compromise. There's no compromise. We've experienced this very directly from the temporary occupation of the regions around Kiev, the Ibu Kota Ukraina.
Yeah.
So what happens after the Russian troops retreat? It's hundreds and thousands of people killed, murdered, tortured, raped, and deprived of everything. It's destroyed houses. It's looted houses by Russians. So we don't want this destiny for our children. That's why we don't stop to resist. We never give up.
Okay.
Merdeka atau mati. These are very inspiring words from Pidato Surabaya Bung Tomo back in 1945. So we will not surrender because we are the children of our country. We are the fathers and grandfathers of our future generations. We cannot stop.
Okay, and then how about the economic situation right now? Because maybe there is any difference at the start of invasion and today?
Well, provided that the around 15 or more % of Ukrainian territory now under temporary occupation by Russian troops, and provided the fact that a lot of lands, a lot of fields were devastated by Russians, by Russian occupants, just destroyed. Now it's a burnt land. So first, it's not possible to delve, not possible to grow any crops in that territories. Plus, definitely, well, can you imagine the war? If since the beginning of the war, we can count up to 35,000 bombs dropped on Ukrainians' heads and the buildings. Around 12,000 missiles were launched on Ukraine just in the last 1,000 days. So now, as we are talking, I just received messages. 1 hour ago, there were still missiles targeted at Ukrainian cities flying around. I think they will now be intercepted or shot down. But it's every day. It's not like once a month. It's every single day. So can you imagine the ways the economy is running? Well, our economy was damaged, and I think we've lost around 1/3, maybe 20% up to 30% of our economy, obviously, right? So many businesses were moved, many businesses were destroyed simply. Many businesses escaped somehow, taking something like equipment, like people, like some papers, technical papers, some money, and now they reestablished the businesses in the other regions of Ukraine. It's a bravery of Ukrainian people. I think in a year's time after the big invasion, around 100,000 businesses appeared in Ukraine. So people changed their mind. So those people who were producing, I don't know, toys for the kids, now they produce drones, now they produce the bulletproof vests for our people. Now they produce medical equipment and medical aids to save the people's lives. Now they produce the special equipment for the schools. While you just try to imagine that. Many kids in Ukraine now are studying underground. So they built a lot of underground schools just to make kids safe. Like in Kharkiv, which is very close to Russia, like in Dnipro, Zaporizhzhia, and other cities. Can you imagine that? So the economy was damaged, but we are fighting. We are fighting on different front lines, and it will be the military, it will be the economy and trade, business, it will be information, fighting the disinformation, etc. So on the economic front, people are fighting, people are still growing the crops. So literally, there is we are living in the 21st century, right?
Yeah.
Dear Tribuners, now you have a unique chance to sign up to our account. So Instagram, Embassy of Ukraine, myself, Twitter, but Instagram I think will do, yeah. Please sign up. Please follow us in the Instagram. You'll get a lot of information there in Bahasa now. So more and more information in Bahasa. Very brief, very simple, very informative, yeah. Why I say that? Because you can see literally the videos when the petani farmers are gathering the crops like gandum, saving gandum, and it need like 50 meters here is burning already. So they're like saving it literally. Fire is moving that way, and they combine, this machine is moving that way to gather some gandum or crop, whatever it is. So that's how we work. That's how we live. We try to save something. Why? To make economy running, but not the least because we are still providing a lot of assistance and help to the people around the world in need, including Sudan, including Palestine, including Malawi, including Congo, many countries. So we still do it every month. We send the grains to the countries in need. Last was the big one, big transport to Palestine, to Gaza. That's what we do. That's how we live.
Okay, nice. But then we will talk about any topics. There is rumor out there who said that North Korea involved in Russia invasion in Ukraine. Is the rumor true?
Well, it's not actually the rumors. That's the facts. Nobody denies that. I mean, like you can see it everywhere in the papers. And we have already the prisoners of war, like captured by Ukrainian troops who are coming from North Korean. We have the numerous facts that proving that North Korean. Yes, this is outrageous attempt of the two dictors like Putin and Kim to escalate the war to the third countries. So now it's not just between Russian aggressor and Ukraine. Now the third countries are involved. The Iran sends Russia the weapons like drones they drop on our heads every day. North Korea, first they send the missiles and ammunition, shells and mines to Russia. So they were killing Ukrainians and they were attacking civilians with the North Korean missiles and things. And now there is North Korean troops. So yes, I would say that it's not even the rumors now.
Okay, so it's true. Then there is, I will confirm something. There is information that said many people, citizens especially in Ukraine, leave the states in case of afraid they are forced to join the war, like become army. Is the rumor true or not?
Well, Ukraine has, before the war, we were like 42 million people in our country. Now we have around 10 million people displaced. So meaning that people who lived in the eastern parts now like devastated and destroyed, they moved somewhere. So first days of war, a lot of people migrated, moved from Ukraine to Europe and around the world. Many people just moved to the other regions of Ukraine. Many people now came back from abroad. A lot of people returned from abroad because, mainly what happens in the first days of war, in the first weeks of war, men took the families abroad, settled down and come back. That's what happened in the first weeks and first month. Now some people, you see, any nation is big. So we have all sorts of different people, right? So some people don't want to fight. But some people, you know what they do? Some people literally cannot fight. They maybe feel afraid or feel weak. What they do, they go somewhere and they still go on working, go on donating, go on helping the army, helping the people, like civilian people. Say, I know many friends. Well, I'm not talking about that's good or bad, I support them or not. It's not about this. It's that many people living abroad, they earn money, generate cash, and then send it to Ukraine to support the relatives, friends, to support the society. So I would not put it on the way that so many people are afraid and they're escaping. There are some, of course, and we cannot blame them for that. If you know the level of brutality that Russian army takes to Ukraine, 150,000 criminal cases about Russians committing war crimes in Ukraine. Just think about it. 150,000 war crimes committed that already filed. And how many hundreds of thousands not yet filed, I don't even know. So around 200,000 buildings destroyed, like in general. 200,000 buildings just destroyed, non-existent, including school, hospitals, maternity houses, masjid, church, residential buildings, like that. So, I mean, it's normal, it's natural that people are afraid. They are afraid. That's not, but you know what? My family is all there. My two daughters, mother, my wife, my son, my wife's mother and grandma, they're all there. And there's like 90% of my family, there are ladies, girls, ladies, and they say, well, we are tired of being afraid. We're not afraid anymore. Let it be. We will do what we have to do. We support our family. We support our friends. We do volunteering. We do whatever. We are surviving. We know what to, help each other, but we're not afraid anymore. I will say that the reason for leaving, I repeat, many people leave Ukraine for different reasons. Maybe they're afraid, maybe they cannot find any better work. But a lot of people, maybe not all, but a lot of people living abroad, they help a lot. They support Ukraine, and we're not encouraging this, like people leaving, but that's what happens. The thing is, we are a big nation and we are still fighting. That's it. That's the main thing.
Okay, then we will talk about relationship between President of Russia, Vladimir Putin, and President of North Korea, Kim Jong-un.
I will just be very brief in this. It's a very, among all, I'm a historian somehow. So I did my PhD in world history, studying the history of some wars, some conflicts, some revolutions and things in Asia, right? Basically, it's about China and things. I can tell you very clearly, through the history, there are two types of relationship between the dictators. One type is confrontation, when two dictators are very strong, and then they don't have any other enemies as strong as them, they confront each other. And second relationship, when they face the stronger enemy, like a democracy, big democratic world, they make union or alliance. So they help each other to survive, because the tyrants, autocratic regimes, dictatorships, they tend to do whatever they can to survive, right? To keep the powers. So it's about that. Very simple.
I see.
Kim and Putin are like long-lasting dictators with the experience of over 20 years. So what can you expect from them? They will do whatever brutal things, whatever illegal, it's like outrageous things, just to keep afloat. That's it. So far, so bad.
I see. Okay, let's talk about United States election, which is Donald Trump is the winner. Is there any effect to Ukraine situation? Because we know that Trump has a track record that he is close to Putin.
I've never heard the real analysts and the real experts ever saying that Trump is close to Putin. They communicated somehow, sometime in the past, but so what?
It's not meant that they are close.
I've never heard about that.
Okay.
It just I think it's rumors that do not have grounds about that, because Donald Trump was the president of the United States once, and now he's going to become the number 47? 45 and 47. And you know what? He is the leader of the democratic country, the biggest democracy in the world, maybe the strongest democracy in the world, put it this way. and and Putin is the dictator, and he is a leader of very influential dictators regimes. He's like it's the opposite sides of the globe, and opposite sides of the ideology, or opposite of everything, right? So it's incompatible. And good thing for the United States and for the rest of the world is that it is system that works in the United States, not necessarily the personality. Personality matters a lot, but the system works. So that's important, right? And second, I mean, like, this is the democracy, right? So American people have chosen the president they wanted to, and now we are going to live in this world. So where the president of the United States will be again Donald Trump, and I only expect positive outcome of that, because well, you can I mean, like, any president of the free world, of the free country, of the democratic country, can communicate with anyone he wants. But the thing is, would he how would he treat the aggression? How would he treat the violations of any possible principles and rights and values of the free world? Would he be ready to tolerate that? I don't think so. Well, let's wait. But we still have to wait a bit of like what, few weeks, and then we will know. Then we will know. But I have absolutely positive expectations on that. We're talking about, again, we're talking about democracy. We're talking about free world with all the checks and balances, and I don't expect that anything will change that.
Okay, we know that NATO is help Ukraine in this war. Then there is question out there, why NATO help Ukraine? Because we know that Ukraine is not NATO's members yet. Yeah.
Right. So this is a simple question. NATO is not really helping that much. It's the NATO member states that help Ukraine a lot. So put it this way. NATO as alliance, well, we have discussions, we have moral support from them, but literally, like tangibly, NATO does not have the ability and the mechanism to help Ukraine that much. But the member states are helping a lot, of course. And why? It's, again, very simple issue. So in today's world, literally, we have the global confrontation between the democratic world, free world, with principles based on whatever you call it, UN Charter or the nilai, the values and principles of the free world, and the dictatorships. That's very simple. So it's an existential confrontation. So we are opposing two camps are opposing each other. Very important who will join which camp. So the countries of the world might decide they join the democracy, freedoms, the respect to the territorial integrity, peaceful coexistence, principle of peaceful coexistence, or we join the violation of any possible rights, or we join the camp that can kill, can rape, can destroy the neighboring states. What camp do you join? Make your choice. So the thing here is, NATO was created immediately after the Second World War with only one purpose: to protect the small European countries that cannot resist the big aggressor, as was the Soviet Union together with the Nazi Germany. That was very simple reason, right? So they still had the big enemy, big and hungry animal, the Soviet Union, that was very aggressive. There was like controlling half of the world, like, instigating and starting wars everywhere, in Asia, in Europe, in Africa, in Latin America, everywhere. They were like doing everything bad. So how would, say, I don't know, small Austria, I don't know, no, Austria is neutral. Say, I don't know, Denmark or France or I don't know who, protect themselves, being small, being not that powerful, being like maybe very developed, but still having small army compared to this huge enemy. Now, the NATO and NATO has never dragged anyone into NATO. So to become a NATO member, it has always been a challenge for the candidate. Big challenge for the candidate. They have to do the homework. They have to apply. They have to wait years, maybe maybe even longer, to become a NATO member. So that's it doesn't work the other way. No, NATO is a protective shield against the dictatorships, against the aggressive dictatorships, which was the Soviet Union and now Russia, that inherited the aggressiveness and this aggressive regime of the Soviet times, of communism. So, the aggressive empire next to you needs some responses, needs some, payung or some shields or some protection. That's the reason for that.
I see. Then who do you think get benefits from Russia's invasion to Ukraine? Because according to several analysis, China is the one who get benefit most.
Well, it's a straightaway analysis. You can just look what is going on, right? Now, I will not tell you the names of the countries, because I'm absolutely sure the tribuners are clever people who can think, who can analyze, who can compare the facts. So now look, who is after the big aggression started, and even before that, Russia started dumping in price for its oil and gas. Now, who is buying the cheap oil from Russia now? There are some countries, not just one, there are a few countries who buy cheap oil from Russia, cheap gas from Russia, cheap wood, cheap other resources. That's one thing. Now look, when the Russia started aggression against Ukraine, many Western companies left Russia. Car makers, fast food, many left Russia because to express solidarity with Ukraine, because they're not supporting the aggressor. Now, look at the Russian market. Who replaced them? What brands, what countries, made in where, replaced all these companies that left? You will see who is the beneficiary on that. I will not know names, so just guess. And of course, the big beneficiary of this situation are the Russian oligarchs, like tycoons who just steal money, who just become filthy rich, and still bearing in mind, when Russia dies, when Russia falls down, they can escape somewhere and live happy ever after, with the billions stolen from the budget. That's it. So that's the beneficiaries, and that's how it works.
Okay. Then if Ukraine and Russia have to make peace, what pattern of peace does Ukraine hope for?
I would not put it this way. Ukraine and Russia wants to make peace. Ukraine has been wanting to make peace since the first day of the aggression 10 years ago, when Russia occupied Crimea and started the war in Donbass in eastern Ukraine. After next day, all Ukrainian people started to hope for peace, to restore the borders, to get the territories back, and to install the long-lasting peace, long-lasting just peace. That's how it works. But unfortunately, when there is a war, there is never one side war. There's always two or more sides. Always. The war cannot happen, I fight with myself. It doesn't work like no. Boxing doesn't work like that. You have two at least, right? So there is Russian Federation. There is Moscow fascist regime that started this war long time ago and made a big aggression 1,000 days ago. And now it's up to them to decide whether they want peace or not. So the pattern of our peace is very simple pattern. We don't bargain, we don't make deals about our sovereign territories. We don't make deals about our resources, about our places we live in, about our motherland. We don't make deals about our people. So the main things, main principles, and they are go to very simple ones. We want our land back, and we want our people back from captivity. That's it. That's our pattern. That's our model. That's our belief. And that's what are we fighting for.
Okay. Last, what's your hope to President of Indonesia, Prabowo Subianto, in this situation?
Well, again, I congratulate my dear friends, Rakyat Indonesia, with the great event that took place in February and then in October, with the elections and then with inaugurations of the president and the parliament. And I wish a great success during the elections that are coming
In November
November.
27th.
Yes, that's a democracy. So you've chosen your president, you've chosen your leader, right? And then now it's up to you and up to him, up to government, to lead your country, to decide the destiny of your country.
Yeah.
So my hope is, of course, that Indonesia remains democratic, free country, a sovereign state with the free policy, with the free right to decide its destiny. I hope that Indonesia will be developing fast, will become more and more prosperous, and that I really hope that President Prabowo will be proud of his country, of his people, as well as the people of Indonesia will be very proud of him as his president for the next years, right? And my hope regarding Ukraine, if I get it right, it's very simple. Indonesia is, as I view it, as I've been viewing it for the last 3 years at least, as I'm living here for 3 years, I've been viewing Indonesia not just a regional leader, like a leader of Asia. I've always been talking about Indonesia as a global force, as a global leader. Okay, let's say a global player. So if Indonesia is a global player, not just local brand, but global player, then Indonesia perhaps has to behave as a global player. Global players, they don't just have rights to do things, but they have a global responsibility of keeping this world safe, stable, maintaining development, and making everyone prosperous and happy, and prosperous and happy. That's it. So I hope that Yang Mulia Bapak Prabowo Subianto, the President of the Republic of Indonesia, will contribute significantly into restoring just peace in Ukraine. It's about justice. It's about principles of peaceful coexistence. It's about humanity. So my hope is very simple, like that. We all want peace, but we have to do something. We require actions from the global players, from the global leaders, and from the people of goodwill around the globe to make the peace come back to Ukraine, to the Middle East, to the African continent, to everywhere. This is our common responsibility. And God bless us in this endeavor.
Okay, we hope the best for Ukraine, because at the end, all we need is peaceful life, right?
I mean, yes. What we need is peace and stability. Absolutely, yes.
Thank you so much for coming to our studio.
My pleasure.
It's an honor for me to talk to you, and we hope someday we can do interview again, talk about peace in Ukraine. Amin ya.
Amin.
Okay, thank you so much. Terima kasih banyak.
Sami-sami.
Dan Tribuners, itu dia percakapan kita dengan Duta Besar Ukraina untuk Indonesia membahas 1000 hari perang antara Rusia dan Ukraina. Terima kasih sudah menonton. Sampai jumpa.
Terima kasih sudah nonton. Jangan lupa like, subscribe, dan share ya. Download Tribun X sekarang. Menghadirkan lokal menjadi Indonesia.